and welcome on back to another Talking Tale video. In today's one, we're going to look at the brand new TMNT and He-Man, The Tales of Grayskull, issue number 2. And this issue was one which I wasn't too sure what to really make of it going into this one, just because of where things were with the last issue, with it already starting in the future, and then we got to see a variety of different people in different, costumes and all that kind of stuff. And then we go back to where it all began with how, Tails and He-Man met, but it was in Triceraton fighting arena, and He-Man was about to fight Triceratons in the Triceraton homeworld. So, going into this one, I wasn't too sure what to expect, because it really felt like anything could happen, and after reading it, it feels like a big letdown, just because not really too much really happens. And with this being a 4-issue mini-series, it feels like there's not going to be too much that's going to be happening, and if there is a lot that's going to be happening in the next 2 issues, then it won't really be worth it, just because it'll be heavily rushed, and I'm just not too sure what to really make of this series so far. So, yeah. Okay, so with the first bit, we do get to see He-Man. He comes into the arena, and he goes in to fight the Triceratons, and I must admit, this bit was just amazing and really just fun to see, just because He-Man's fighting the Triceratons. Just everything about it sounds stupid and strange saying it out loud, because, well, it's He-Man, Triceratons, they shouldn't be interacting, but yet it just somehow works extremely well. And then even at one point we got to see Ravelite stabs his side through Triceraton's hand, which was something which I was really quite surprised at, just because I wasn't expecting it to be like this dark or graphic or anything like that, but to my surprise it was, and I'm happy for it, so that's great. But then after that we do get to see He-Man. He breaks the floor, and Tails and Tails and He-Man, they try to escape, and they accidentally meet up with Renette, and they decide to steal a Triceraton cruise ship, and that's when they fly out into space, trying to head home. And then this is when they were within the origins of how they all met, and this bit was quite amazing, because there was stuff in this part which I was not expecting in terms of the characters which they use and mention. So for the Tails side of things, they were in Dimension X fighting the Maligna Swarm and Maligna herself, and then after that getting help from Colour, and then after that they go to see a big meeting of bad guys with Maligna, the Prime Leader, and Lord Dreg. I was not expecting to see those characters or even them be mentioned, just because normally when we talk about total crossover, you normally have the main classic characters, and especially the villains never go much beyond Shredder, Krang, being Rocksteady. So seeing all these characters here, even if it was just a minor little cameo bit, this was still amazing, because I was not expecting to see anything like this, and just wow. It's annoying because I want to see a lot more of them and see them do a lot more amazing stuff, but yeah, they don't. And this just really gets me quite curious to see more about this universe and lore and history with these characters. So I just wow, I just couldn't believe it, and I want to see more of it. But meanwhile we got the He-Man side of things, where he reveals that he tried to go after Skeletor because he found out that Skeletor went off to this meeting, and he went after him, and then was going to use He-Man as an excuse that he was there and he was rescued by He-Man to get back, but because of everything that happened, it can't go that way. So yeah. And then after that we got Renette, who's like, oh well, I've seen everything, I've seen how everything gone wrong, I've seen the future, I've seen the past, I've seen how it's all gone wrong, and basically these two characters, got Tails and He-Man, they can't interact. And that's the main plot for this series now, is that these characters cannot interact, because if they do, it will ruin the timeline. Despite this crossover being about the Turtles interacting with He-Man, and the first thing they do is say that you shouldn't interact and you'd be the furthest away from them. Oh my god, how stupid is this? And I just can't even with this. I thought that Netflix show with He-Man and how they killed him off in one episode was stupid, but reading this and seeing how I went around it here, we're saying that no, you can't interact, despite it being the whole reason why reading this. It's just so stupid. Oh boy. But to make up for this, we got Turtles. They go to Eternia. So I'll quickly explain that bit. So they're in Eternia. Mikey goes off to deliver a message to his parents saying that he's alright, and then they get caught by Teela, I want to say, and Man of Arms, and yeah, that's pretty much it for that side of things. And if they do interact with anyone from He-Man's universe who knows He-Man or is an integral part to He-Man's lore, then basically everything is doomed because they're not supposed to be interacting. But again, you know, we're reading this for the interactions, not for them to be separated. But yeah, this is disappointing. Meanwhile, we've got He-Man. He goes to New York, and for this, I do feel like there's a lot of interesting things you could do with this because of how vastly different Eternia is to New York. But he meets Spear and Rocksteady, and he runs away. So again, you got the characters who should be interacting and yet still being told not to interact. But Casey comes into this, and he's able to beat them up. And then he goes over to him and is like, well, you know, you gotta come with me so I can show you Master Splinter, because if you don't, I'm gonna put a sword somewhere. And again, these characters are not supposed to be interacting because of the timeline and all that kind of stuff. Wouldn't it have made more sense to send both those characters, like He-Man back to Eternia and Turtles back to New York? That would have made a lot more sense. But no, so yeah, I mean, I'd say that overall for this issue, it is a very disappointing one. I do enjoy the artwork and a lot of stuff in this issue with the like characters from the Turtle side of things, with like Migna, Lord Dreg, and Kala. That was so great and amazing to see. But with them actually setting up the main story and this being a 4-issue miniseries, I can't see this working out. And with the whole main story being revealed in this issue, is basically these characters can't interact, is stupid. What is the point of having this crossover if they can't interact? It's made this whole crossover really pointless, because you know it's supposed to be about He-Man and the Turtles crossing over and interacting, and they're still told no, you can't, because otherwise you'll ruin the storyline and all that kind of stuff. It is stupid. You'd think that for the first big, like, grand finale, or not grand finale, but like for the big, like, first big crossover between these two characters, you think it'd be something so special and amazing. But no. Oh, God. So, yeah, I can't say that I'm looking forward to this series anymore because they can't interact, so oh boy. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below what do you think about this issue. Do you like it? Do you not? And yeah, that's it for today, guys. If some, please share, let's subscribe and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.